Hi, my name is Adrian and welcome to my thoughts on Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes. So the reason why I waited for a while before I took on my thoughts on Metal Gear Solid 5 is that I wanted to complete the game completely and obtain the 100% completion ratio. And I just did that. I left it on my Facebook and a lot of you left your comments, and my Instagram too. I put it up there and a lot of you put your comments of encouragement and you put what games you have completed in 100%. That was really cool, thanks. So Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes. Let's just delve right into it. So first of all, I think the gameplay is absolutely phenomenal. The gameplay is amazing. Like, it's basically Peace Walker, but in high definition, but not literally high definition Peace Walker. This is just like Fox Engine. It looks gorgeous. The gameplay, the animations of all the characters are really cool. The way that you stick against the wall now automatically, like Snake basically tells you you're up against the wall because he kind of puts his hand there and that lets you know, oh, I'm against the wall now. You don't have to press a button anymore. It just does it automatically. That's awesome. It's really great. The CQC is really natural. The way you interrogate people and the options that you have to interrogate. Now you can grab him and then you can like move him while you're still in cover. You can throw him against another enemy. You can slam him against the wall. There's just so many options of what you can do in CQC, and I think that's really great. That's really awesome, and it encourages like close quarters gameplay. It rewards you for close quarters gameplay. Because, you know, when you interrogate the enemies, they give you information, they tell you where the ammunition is, or they tell you where certain objectives are. It's pretty cool. It encourages you to go up to an enemy and choke him rather than just taking him out from half a mile away with a pot shot. I hate pot shots, by the way. But it does take a while getting used to how well hidden you are, because this game does away with the camo index. So you no longer know like, oh, I'm at 75% or I'm at 80%. And obviously that wasn't an exact science. You know, you could be at 85% and if a guard was close enough to you, he'd still see you. But at least you kind of had a pretty solid idea of where you were. But now with no camo index, you are kind of out in the open, in the sense that, yeah, you can be in the shadows, but the guys can still see you. Whereas in games like Splinter Cell, if you're in the shadows, you are hidden. There is no way that they can see you. Or even Manhunt, dating way back to Manhunt. If you were in shadow, you were completely hidden. But in this game, while you're sneaking around, you don't know how well hidden you are. So you kind of have to guess, and sometimes it does lead to somewhat frustrating moments where you're like, whoa, wait, why did that guard see me? But you do get used to it, and it's not broken by any means. It's just a very different style of stealth gameplay where you're not always sure how well hidden you are. It makes it more realistic, but it does sometimes take a little bit away of the fun factor of hunting your different enemies down and knowing they can't see you, but knowing you can see them perfectly, and having that camo index there that like reassures you that you're doing okay. And Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes is pretty short. What you have read is absolutely true. If you know what you're doing, you can complete the main mission in about, I mean, I don't know how fast the speedrun is right now, but anywhere from like, I don't know, 6 to 14, 15 minutes, you can do it as quickly as you want, the main mission, if you know what you're doing, you skip cutscenes. But the thing is, if you want to get that 100%, it's going to take you a lot more than 15 minutes to be able to complete the 100%. And that's, I think, where the real fun is of the game, is completing it all the way through and learning the ins and outs of all the different layouts. Well, it's the same, it's one big area, but since it places you in different parts of the map and it gives you different objectives and it has a different time of day, it does feel fresh. But at the same time, I mean, I would have liked to have another area, but as it stands, it's okay. Getting that 100% takes a lot of work, and it's a lot of fun. That's why I did it. But getting that S rank, I feel that there is just too much emphasis on speed. Right now, speed is the most important thing to getting the S rank. You can play completely stealth-like, not having one guard spot you, see you in so much as even be like a huh? Nothing. You can play like a complete ghost, and you still won't get the S rank. And why won't you get the S rank? Because you probably are not doing it fast enough. Because it turns into this sprinting mini game. And even I demonstrated this. I took out a video how to get the S rank in the mission where you have to go extract or eliminate these 2 targets. And the thing is, I devised a way that you could just run across the camp. If you know exactly where they are, you could run across the camp, get the guy in the Jeep, go and get to the other guy, crash into him, get the other guy and drive out of the level, and you get the S rank. I mean, honestly, like just running around and getting shot at, causing the alerts, you didn't play stealthily at all, and yet the game is telling you you played wonderfully, you got an S rank. So I feel that that's a little confusing in a game that is about stealth, that it rewards you so much for being so unstealth-like. I mean, there's a fine point between being quick stealthy, right? Because you memorize paths and stuff like that, and just being reckless. And I felt like it's rewarding you for being reckless. It was very calculated recklessness. Like, it took me a while to find out that exact path. I'm not lying here. It took me quite some time to figure that out. But the fact that I could get that highest score with causing an alert is what's troubling to me. In terms of the reflex mode, it's cool. I think it's all right that you get that little second chance when you run into somebody by accident, and then it gives you a second to correct that mistake. But I do feel that it should have something where it can be regulated, because right now a lot of people are abusing that mechanic, where they just run down the map, they see someone sees them, boom, headshot, run down the map, someone sees them, boom, headshot. And it just feels really cheap. Like, if they could have some sort of cooldown mechanic where, for example, if someone sees you, boom, headshot, and then it takes, I don't know, at least 30 seconds or 2 minutes or something for it to charge up until you can use reflex mode again, then at least that encourages you to go and hide, or to be like, oh wow, almost got caught there. Not just keep running and be like, oh, well, it's okay, this guy coming down the road right here will see me, I'll just take him out with a headshot. Or also it could limit you into, like, you only have 3 permission, you only have 5 permission, I don't know, you only have a set number of reflex modes permission. But I do feel it's going to be a very useful mechanic in the Phantom Pain, because as we saw in the demo, maybe a sandstorm is going to happen, and then some guy sees you and you don't want to start the entire section again, so you just take him out quickly. The cutscenes look absolutely gorgeous. The Fox engine looks beautiful. Everything looks so shiny. It looks so cool. The style of them, the one take thing, it takes some getting used to, but it looks great. The thing that I did want to comment on that, though, is that when you start to look at the story, you can see what Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes really is. It's a piece of a game. Because of that, the story feels incomplete. It feels like it starts and then it stops. It doesn't end. The story doesn't end, it just suddenly stops, and then you don't know what's gonna happen, and it's like, stay tuned next time on Metal Gear Solid 5, kind of like a TV series kind of thing. And I feel like that's why I got a lot of criticism, and it would have been cool if at least what little story we got in this game, because there's very, very little story, and it can be spoiled to you in 2 seconds, is if they could have just presented it in a way that's a little more clear, because a lot of the story is told through voiceover, right? Through voiceover specifically of Kaz, which, by the way, on a tangent here, oh my God, can we not shut him up? Like, the first time you're playing the game, it's pretty cool that he tells you how to do everything. Second, third, fourth, fifth time, because you're going to revisit that level a lot of times if you're going to get 100% completion ratio. He does not shut up. He's constantly yammering in your ear, and you just want to make him shut up, and there's no option to turn him off. The only thing you can do is at least take off the subtitles. So yes, Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes is just part of a bigger picture that is Phantom Pain, but I enjoyed myself immensely playing this game, and I wouldn't have done 100% if I wasn't having fun with it. Also, I think my favorite mission was the Deja Vu mission. It's just the amount of references that I had to the classic Metal Gear Solid game, and Kaz imitating the different voices, and the quizzes that you had at the end, and just the way they lit the scene. It was just all so well done, and I had a ton of fun exploring the level again as Solid Snake. I do wish that we could have gotten maybe like at least one more area to explore in, but this area that they designed was really cool, and I had a lot of fun doing it. And which brings me to something that I think, you know, playing as classic Polygon Solid Snake gave me the idea of like, wow, imagine how cool it would be is if you could play like any version of Snake you wanted in Phantom Pain. In other words, if you wanted to play as Metal Gear Solid 1 Snake, but high res, you could do it. If you wanted to play as Ground Zeroes Big Boss in Phantom Pain, that'd be awesome. If you could play as Peace Walker Big Boss in Phantom Pain, or if you could play as Metal Gear Solid 2 Solid Snake, he's my favorite design, that would be amazing, and I think that would be a really good send-off, because again, Kojima's threatening that this is going to be his last game, so I think that would be a really cool send-off if you could play as any version of Snake that you wanted in the Phantom Pain. Thanks for watching my thoughts on Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes. If you liked the video, please subscribe and let me know what you guys think of Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes in the comments below. And you can also follow me on my Twitter at GodzillaRix, and on my Facebook at Acevedo Smith, and on my Instagram on GodzillaRix as well. And if you'd like to see my thoughts on all these other Metal Gear games that you see here, I invite you to see my series of Metal Gear Solid My Thoughts, in which I talk about precisely all those games. So thank you so much for watching. See you next time.